What is up, all you lovely faffers? Just faffing away to your heart's content. Well, I mean, maybe not so much now. The game and the lobby seem to be a little bit bugged right now. So if you, like me, start getting the shakes whenever you don't get your fix of Forged Alliance Forever, let me help you with that. And we'll have a little cast. We'll have some fun today. This is, I believe, maybe a little bit of an older game, but yeah, I've been having some like lobby issues lately, so yeah, we're going back to Old Faithful in the cast. We got a 6v6 coming y'all's way on Adaptive Wonder Open, so I'm breaking my streak. This is not a Neuroxis map generator. There are other maps that do exist. In fact, it's crazy, but I know it sounds crazy, but it does actually happen from time to time. Anyway, let's go ahead and introduce our players. We got Team 1 up at the top, Team 2 down at the bottom, as is customary. Starting with our southernmost player, we've got Geneva, and he's going Aeon, opening first land, working on the Hydro right now. To his north, we've got Barg, 6516, and he's going Cybran, opening first land. To his flank, we've got Sixalon or Sixalon, which is got to be one of the most fun names to say. It just really rolls off the tongue. Sixalon. And he's going Cybran, opening first and second land. To his north, we've got a Whistloy, who's going Seraphim, opening first land. And last on the front line, before we get to the rearguard air position, we've got Sub Q, who's going Cybran. A lot of Cybran on team number 1. Gotta love it. Going first land. And in the rearguard air position, rounding things out for team number 1, we've got Alter Ego going Aeon, which makes sense in the air position. Or at least it used to. I don't know if it does anymore. I'm washed at this game. Going first land, second air, and down to the south, we have a TV Nabi going land all day as the UEF. His name obviously based on back before I was born when there were knobs on TVs. But next we've got In the Grand, who's going Cybran, opening first land. On his way to the middle in the center position, we've got Will-O-Wisp going Seraphim, opening first land. Down at the south, another Seraphim player, Rift Station, and he's going first land, going to be riffing up some of that lovely Rift salad. And next we've got Crusader Nova, who's going land all day as the UEF, and rounding things out for the rearguard air position, we've got Mandalus 4, or Mandulisa? I don't know if that 4 is supposed to be a 4 or an A. We're going to go with Mandalus, and he's going UEF, opening first land, second air. All right. Adaptive Wonder Open. We'll talk about the map. So big front line, only one air position for each side. That air position usually goes for a Tech 3 rush, although occasionally you'll see gunship rush or fighter bombers, things like that. Snipes. Very open map, as you can see by the name, Adaptive Wonder Open. And there is a lot of reclaim on this map. There's going to be a lot of it in these craters, as you can see Will-O-Wisp up here, hoovering up some of that manually with his commander. But even outside of these craters, there is a just gobstoppingly huge amount of reclaim on this map. So really, really easy to kind of slingshot your way into Tech 2, Tech 3. But you got to be a little bit careful. You got to still have a really big Tech 1 presence like we're seeing out of TV Nabi here, because with the openness of the map, pretty easy to get flanked and overwhelmed and double teamed. And that's kind of why we love this map so much. But mostly just reclaim operations going on right now. We've got a couple of engineer casualties there from TV Nabi, some reclaim engineers. Took a wrong turn and ended up going down into a bad area of town. Ran into Mantis as well as a Mole in tow. Or actually, I guess the Mantis is in tow. And something's shooting. Oh, they're going after this mass extractor. That should be cleaned up, or not. I don't know. Oh, TV Nabi's going to redirect some other things. He's got his own little raiding party here. But Sub-Q putting on a lot of pressure. He's going to bag himself another couple of reclaim engineers here. If he takes these Mantis moves a little bit to the east, could get himself some additional civilian casualties, therefore violating the Geneva Convention, who incidentally is in this game upgrading gun speed right now on that Aeon commander. Also got gun speed and range coming in for Sixalon, with Whistloy and TV Nabi starting to exchange some love taps to each other there in the middle. We also got Stealth on the way for In the Grand. Might be going for that new Cybran nano repair upgrade. which is, I believe, comes after the stealth upgrade in the tree. So you can get a really, really powerful commander with the Cybran now as far as like a combat comm. Previously, the Cybran commander was like, you know, it was okay early because you could get gun, but then it kind of fell off if people went for like nano or other things. You also have to pick between gun and T2, which I don't think you have to do on any other faction. So adding in nano along with stealth, I would say arguably vaults the Cybran commander to one of the most threatening commanders, at least in the early game. And with a really, really good late game scaling with the teleporter and laser and things like that, if you wanna get out there and go balls deep with your comm. The damage and range now on the way for TV Nabi. Just a ton of gun upgrades firing off as Will-O-Wisp is getting one. Rift Station also getting his speed and range. And down at the bottom, Crusader Nova also getting damage and range. So gun upgrades all across the board for team number 2, going full combat comm. Which is interesting on this map. You usually see a little bit more of a mixture of T2 and gun, just with it being so open. Tech 2 point defense with their longer range can be really, really useful on this map. Stealth upgrade now just finishing as well for Sixalon, and Geneva with gun speed and range, and with both the gun speed and the range upgrades finished. He's going to start making his way, putting some pressure in on Crusader Nova here, who incidentally I believe is his clanmate. Yeah, SS Geneva. And here's all the energy requests because everybody decided to upgrade gun at the exact same time. So everybody needs energy all the time. Yeah, now we've got Wisloy stuck here on a gun upgrade, only 60% of the way done, with artillery coming in from in the Grand as well as his gun upgrade. So Wisloy, if he completes his gun upgrade, he's going to have to take a good amount of damage, already down to about 7,500 HP. So sacrificing a third or more of his health to get that gun upgrade, which doesn't leave you in a great spot. Luckily, he's got enough T1 units to at least force In the Grand to think twice about this. And In the Grand shouldn't be under any real threat there with that gun comm. And up at the top, we've got TV Nabi now squaring off against Sub-Q, both with their respective gun upgrades. TV Nabi going for a little bit of a circle around. Point defense getting rushed down by Sub-Q. Already got one up and a couple more on the way. But even with the point defense, TV Nabi's going to be able to overcharge those down. Or he should be overcharging them down. Might not have the energy to overcharge. And I said he was going to lose that base, but with help from Wisloy as well as his own T1 units, looks like actually TV Nabi is going to be the one on the back foot once again. In the Grand, hunting down Wisloy, trying to corner him into an exchange that Wisloy would not win as he brings in his Tech 1 units to help balance the odds in his favor a little bit. Down at the bottom, we also have, man, everything is just taken off at the exact same time. Sixalon squaring off against Rift Station here. Rift Station sorely lacking Tech 1 units of his own. Luckily, Crusader Nova is going to be there to bail him out, at least on the Tech 1 unit front. So he's going to be taking a good amount of damage. Geneva over on this side just finished his Chrono Dampener upgrade. That's going to make him really annoying to fight into from the commander side. As you can see, that Chrono Dampener just turning off all the units that Crusader Nova is trying to use to pressure that upgrade. And Rift Station dropping down almost below 3,000 HP. Sixalon needs to be a little careful here, though. Can't push too far in with that point defense right there. That'll level the playing field here real quickly. With reinforcements now coming in from Barg. So I'm trying to stay a little bit zoomed out because everybody is fighting everywhere at the same time. Sub-Q gonna go for a stealth upgrade, but is under pressure from now 2 commanders with gun upgrade. Wisloy, his compatriot, is not really in a great position to help either from a health perspective or the fact that he's rooted to the spot on an upgrade right now. And the Grand and TV Nabi could bag this kill, I think, if they push hard with their Tech 1. They've also got some good reclaim operations going on. Whipping down to the other side of the map again. Crusader Nova also in a 2v1 situation of his own. Geneva pushing forward with that Chrono Dampener. which is just an absolute mess to deal with. Really, the only way that you can deal with it is air, or just like trying to deal with all of the Tech 1 units and isolate the commander a little bit. You know, put yourself in a 2v1 situation where you've got commander assistance, but both Rift Station and Crusader Nova looking pretty battered on the commander side. Now up at the top, Sub-Q looking a lot healthier, is now boxed TV Nabi down, as TV Nabi is on an upgrade for nano repair of his own. Trying to skirt this and stay out of the range of these point defense here. There's another point defense that is going to be coming up, but he's trying to make TV Nabi just pay as dearly as possible for that comm upgrade and nano repair. You know what? There's a really easy way to fix this. They've just given y'all whiplash. Really easy way to fix this. Crusader Nova, 5k HP. Syxalon not looking super healthy though. Down to 2500 HP. And not in a good position to, I think, force a draw either. He's going to have to back off with his commander. Now Geneva, I don't know if Crusader Nova, you want to pick that fight, buddy. Geneva's in way better health than you are, and can also turn off any reinforcements that you bring in from a Tech 1 perspective. And might be a missed opportunity there for Geneva to put a little bit more pressure on Crusader Nova. I definitely think he could have pushed this a lot harder, especially because he's got those Tech 1 units support. Now in the Grand, dealing with Tech 1 units on the right-hand side of the screen, Whistler advancing forward with his commander as well. Sub-Q once again looking decently damaged, down at about 8k HP. TV Nabi did commit and finish that nano upgrade, although Whistler did as well. So we have Nano versus Nano. Seraphim Nano is a little better than UEF Nano, but TV Nabi does also have in the Grand. So Whistler now needs to be really careful here. I think TV Nabi and in the Grand, if they just flip on snipe mode, they could walk this comm down and kill him. And there is, you know, there's a little bit of T1 to help and 1 PD, but not a ton. But they're gonna let Whistler go. Whistler is gonna live to fight another day. Had a lot of kind of close calls with commanders so far, 11 minutes in, but nobody's died yet. Nano repair now on the way for Syxalon, going for that upgrade path that we were talking about earlier, with Cybran going for that stealth gun and nano upgrade, which is quite good. Mexes and little raids now happening as well. Whistler once again picking a fight with another commander here. This time it's in the Grand. TV Nabi off on his own, tweaking his own knobs himself. And Will-O-Wisp actually very far forward. No commander here, as Syxalon's commander is down here at the bottom helping out with Geneva, although that should be Barg, except Barg is now closer to Syxalon's base than Syxalon is. Everybody's just kind of all over the place. Rift Station moving in now. He's got only 4k. He's only got 4k HP. I think he's trying to force Syxalon to abandon this upgrade, but with Geneva so close, that could put him in a rough position. Neither Rift Station nor Crusader Nova really have the HP to play with here that they need. And Crusader Nova should be going down here as those Obsidians show up and just do an absolute shitload of damage. That is going to be our first ejection from the game. Crusader Nova, I think the call was to try and get Syxalon to stop his upgrade or at least box him out, but Geneva with that Aeon gun upgrade as well as the Chrono Dampener saying, "No siree, Bab. You will not mistreat prisoners of war, even if they are in the prison of their own making of nano repair in kind of a dangerous situation." Nano repair also coming in for Barg now. So a lot of people just going straight up full combat comm. No T2 upgrades that I've seen so far. At least from a commander perspective. We of course have T2 engineers. They're starting to get some T2 point defense dotted down around the map. And now we see Rift Station as being the lucky winner of Crusader Nova's base. Crusader Nova being a 1500 rated player, kind of middle of the pack there for team number 2. So not the worst loss in the world, but definitely not one you're going to be like super excited about. And then TV Nabi and Subcute, these guys just absolutely hate each other. Like, I don't know whether, you know, Subcute, you know, did something to TV Nabi's sister or what their history is, but these guys just do not ever want to stop going at each other's throats. Both of them now with nano upgrades as well, so they can just kind of continue bashing into each other all the time. And then down at the bottom, that chrono dampener, as well as the obsidians, being used to great effect here by Geneva. Although one thing that, unfortunately for Rift Station, the chrono dampener cannot turn off as point defense. So Geneva's going to end up kind of having to back off here as more point defense is getting thrown down. We haven't even talked about air yet, but they are building air. There is air that exists for both teams. I don't know how much it is. Nano Repair now on the way for In the Grand. Has 4 veteran C rank on his commander. Subq has 2 veteran C rank. TV Nabi has 3. Everybody's using their commanders to fight a ton. Subq and TV Nabi once again going at it. TV Nabi probably lacking Tech 1 here. As far as what he's doing in his base, looks like he's trying to upgrade a bunch of different factories to Tech 2 at the same time. So trying to get full Tech 2 manufacturing on. That's left him very weak in the Tech 1. On the Tech 1 side of things, is I think his only Tech 1 tanks are up here at the top. And those are about to get absolutely annihilated by Subq's far larger and much more spidery and arguably superior Tech 1 force. Luckily, he does have some point defense here, so Subq is going to have to get his commander in there to overcharge, or we're going to have to deal with those via artillery, which the point defense are now starting to do. Subq actually taking a lot more damage in this push than I thought he would. I'll be honest. It's probably because he's focusing on trying to get rid of these. He's trying to get rid of these factories, just trying to force TV Nabi off of this position. Much less interested in a kill, although those are Mercies in. And if you guys didn't know, Mercies got changed. They don't deal huge alpha strike damage anymore. They deal damage over time now. I don't know if that's good or not, but it seems to be the sentiment is that it's not great, or it's not as, I mean, it's good, but it's not memeable anymore. I don't know. Answers in the comments below. Do you guys like that change or no? I kind of like the sniping aspect of FAF. Like it's the whole, you have a commander that is your king piece. Like it's the whole chess aspect of it. As Will-O-Wisp finds himself well encircled by a lot of rhinos there from Barg. Barg and Syxalon running him down with his commander as well. I don't think Will-O-Wisp makes it out of this. I think he's on a one-way ticket to hell there, going down. Sorry, express elevator to hell, going down. That is going to be another player down for team number 2. Team number 1 doing a good job of kind of abusing these 2v1 mismatches where they can find them. Causing problems here for team number 2. Nano Repair, I could have sworn In the Grand has upgraded Nano Repair like twice already. Maybe he just hasn't finished it either time. But point defense getting dropped down to try and stop this onslaught of Syxalon with the rhinos that were Bargs were gifted over to Syxalon. Got a couple of Ilshivas coming in, as well as some hoplites, some other units as well getting brought in. Try and shut this push down, but that's going to do some damage at least to Will-O-Wisp's former base. Will-O-Wisp being an 1800 highest rated on team number 2. That one is going to hurt a little bit more, at least from an APM perspective. And we've got Wisloy pushing in as well. The middle just crumbling for team number 2 right now. That is an unholy amount of mobile missile launchers as well. Air engagement First air engagement I think we've seen so far with Mandulis getting some really good turns there on Alter Ego, winning the air engagement right off the bat. So we'll see how Mandulis decides to utilize that early air advantage. So at least that's one thing that Team 2 have going for them, is they do have decent air presence right now. And you know, the push did some damage, but I think it only got like one T3 mechs. All these other mexes are still in, the core mexes are still in good shape here for Will-O-Wisp's old base. And Rift Station actually pushing back, getting Barg and Geneva to rethink their life decisions. And this is a good way to start using that air advantage. Rift Station deploying Janus to absolutely annihilate these mobile missile launchers. Tech 3 on the field as well. Got some Titans out. I saw a couple Othams bumping around earlier from, I think, Will-O-Wisp. And now the fighter bombers turning their attention, and gunships as well. Tech 3 broadswords out from Mandulis. This is starting to look like a much more dicey situation from an air perspective. There is flak there from Geneva. And gunships are actually switching their priority. That's causing some confusion. Now they're going after engineers. Might have been able to bag Geneva there if they focused their fire. But as it is, I don't think they had a critical mass at one point, but now gunships are just kind of trickling in. There are transcenders here in the background that'll be able to deal with that in addition to the mobile flak. So I think Geneva lives to fight another day here. But still, not a great situation. Did cause a good amount of damage. How the hell is Barg already so healthy again? 96 HP per second for Barg's HP regen. That is really high. That's really good. Cybran Nano and 5 ranks of veterancy going to work for you there. But team number 2 has stabilized. They're down 2 players. Still got 4 in the game. Team 1 has yet to lose a player. Advanced Nano now coming in for Wisloy. That's going to bump his regen up to close to 200 if I'm remembering correctly. It's a nice little upgrade. And then there's also the fact that I think it gives you like 40k HP, but it is a pretty expensive upgrade. Basically turns this comm into an experimental. Which, provided he's got a lot of E-storage, which he has some, can make that commander very, very, very dangerous to deal with. Even with experimentals, you can get some good overcharges out, and you've got the HP to be able to stand up to like an early Monkey Lord or something. A good move, interesting move. Syxalon now up here. Dude, this guy's been just all over the place with his commander. He took that commander off of the lot and just immediately put 30,000 miles on it in the first 2 months. And Geneva and Barg holding this side, but Rift Station, I think, probably pretty happy with the amount of map control he has, the amount of mass he's got. He's up now about 190, depending on reclaim. Looking at overall mass totals, Team 2 up by about 120k, which is quite good for them, especially because they're down 2 players, so they're offsetting that a little bit by eco infrastructure upgrades. And now we have a push on Sub-Q as well as Syxalon, both of these guys basically with full Cybran combat commanders. Although that is a lot of pillars. Sub-Q losing HP very, very quickly here. TV Navi's comm not even in the picture, and I think that it's just going to be the pillars that'll take Sub-Q out of this game, and that's going to be the first drop there for team number 1. Gunships also in the vicinity here for Mandulis. They could go after Syxalon here, make it a 2-for-1. They get a 2-for-1 special. Good old Wendy's 2-for-1 special. And Syxalon just actually going to give up. Nothing he can do about it. And so now that levels the playing field 4 players apiece. Cyxalon and Subq on the upper echelons, actually the 2 highest rated players there for team number 1. So that's going to sting. Mandulis utilizing his air advantage quite well here in the early stages. Well, early stages, the middle stages kind of this game. Cyxalon's base given over to Geneva, and Wisloy inherits Subq. Actually goes back to Barg now, which I think makes maybe contiguous, a little bit more contiguous sense, as Barg is kind of the middle player, although Geneva is the higher rated player, so maybe you want to give more resources to your higher rated players. Geneva also really likes using his resources quite a bit. He really likes scaling that eco. Just kind of his play style. Played with him enough, seen enough of his games. It's one of his favorite things to do, is just eco the shit out of his game. And now we're starting to see strats out from Alter Ego, which is an interesting play considering he does not really have air control, or previously didn't have air control. Is this it for ASF? No, okay, there's a bunch more. Okay, there's a bunch more around that I just like didn't see. But yeah, he does not have air control, so I'm not quite sure why he's going into building strats. As Whistler now with that advanced nano upgrade, 220 HP regen, 36,000 HP. That is an absolute unit of a commander. Taking shots to the face, doesn't care. I don't really know why this firebase is just irked his... Oh, it's these clink hammers. He's like, I don't like the fact that you have artillery here. Although he is taking like quite a bit of damage. You know, the dude can take a lot of punishment, but he does still take damage. It's just a lot more in order to bring him down. Bags one of the clink hammers, leaves the other one alive as Ilshevish show up to help or donate mass. Not 100% sure. Ilshevish just kind of came in, said hi, and then pieced the fuck out. Next we got another little run by here from Barg. Gonna start getting clipped by these Tech 2 point defense down here for Rift Station. And this middle base actually going to TV Navi, so not Rift Station. But this middle base very undefended. Once you get past these point defense, there's not really anything that's gonna stop him. There are a good number of gunships here for Mandulis, should he try and use them, and that's what Crusader Nova is actually calling right now. As Geneva sees the migration of Rift Station's forces and takes advantage of the lack of mobile defense units, at least. There's quite a bit of point defense here that he's going to have to chew through. He does have some sniper bots that are going to be able to do that. Yeah, Geneva thinking about it, but ultimately deciding against it. And now Splash on the way for Whistler. Dude is just trying to bling out his comm with every upgrade in the book. That is, he's just playing comm upgrade. That's the game he wants to play, I guess. Splash gives you, well, it gives you splash, but it does also increase your, the damage of your main cannon on the commander by, I think, 800%. So it is a very significant damage upgrade as well. And now we've got our first experimental. We got a Monkey Lord out on the field there for, in the Grand. Monkey Lord. Can they see it right now? No, they cannot. Okay, so they got the stealth. These bricks are about to run into a monkey that is going to take the bricks and throw them around a little bit. There's unfortunately not enough bricks to be able to deal with a monkey. And oh, but Barg's almost done with a Monkey Lord of his own. So that'll level the playing fields there for as far as experimentals go. Geneva working on a GC right now as well. And then down at the bottom, what else have we got? We got a Fat Boy nearly done for Rift Station. We got another monkey almost done there for In the Grand. Dude's printing these things like the United States government printing dollar bills, baby. Like it's going out of style. And Geneva with a decently sizable Tech 3 force here. Can't really push in. There's a lot of point defense. That's probably what this GC is for, to help break that. And with this Tech 3 kind of supporting act here, they'll be able to do some good damage there. And then TV Nabi maintaining control over his corner. That's one thing Team 2 has done a pretty good job of, is they're maintaining control of both of the corners. Doesn't really, it gives you a little bit from a mass perspective, and you can kind of see that reflected, although a lot of this is just better eco and better reclaim probably from team number 2. But does give you a couple mexes and does give you more ways to attack your opponent that your opponent has to defend against. So, you know, Whistloy has to deal with strats. He's got to deal with potentially this run by. He's got to deal with this fire base. Just makes it more difficult as Alter Ego goes in to try and save, or try and save Whistloy's commander. I don't know if this is going to be successful. It looks like there was enough AA. There's a lot of flak. Is going to save Whistloy's commander, but is going to lose air once again. And I'm not quite sure what happened to our original Monkey Lord. Okay, so we got both Monkey Lords here from In the Grand, one from Barg, ready to kind of square off against the advance from Grand here. A lot of point defense helping out. Cyber and point defense at Tech 2, you know, not great, but it's something. But that first monkey from In the Grand is going to go down. Second one is out of range of Barg's monkey. As soon as he gets out of range of all this point defense, he'll be able to do a lot more damage and kind of gut Whistloy's economy here. If it would shoot at stuff. Okay, there it goes. Starting to target the mexes. We go for some power. That'd be tasty as well. But core mechs going down now for Whistloy. That laser just evaporating everything it touches. And Whistloy also having to deal with a run by up here at the top. That little battalion of Titans. Apologies for my phone alarm there. I forgot that I had that set. But he's going to be gutted from a mass perspective as he loses all 8 of his core primary mexes. Still unable to pin that Monkey Lord down. Still with 700 HP. 300, 400, 100. Okay, finally goes down. But definitely gets a good amount of work done. Now we've got the Fat Boy actually getting hit by restorers from Geneva. And Geneva finally taking the opportunity, or making the decision, to go and clean out this corner that Rift Station has held on to for so long. Oh, and Whistloy's going to go out Control K, potentially. I think he might have just bowed out or just decided to Rambo into this fire base. There are a good number of Percivals here, so it's probably like that. But that's going to be another player down. And again, another of the higher rated players there for team number 1. Geneva, though, starting to get some good work done here. Cleaned out this corner. Probably not going to be able to take out the Fat Boy, though. He's going to get a little bit of damage down, but that Fat Boy is going to be able to, with the close range Gatling cannon, is going to be able to still, you know, eke its way out of there. Got to give love to the Fat Boys from time to time. All right, so that goes. All right, so now everybody is arguing about who should actually take ownership of Whistloy's shell of a base. I mean, really, we're talking about some mass storage here, a Tech 3 HQ, a couple of Tech 1 factories, and that is about it. And like 1 Tech 2 mechs, 2 Tech 2 mexes. Yeah, this, you know, it looks like there's units here. It looks like there's buildings, but there's really not like anything super useful. It's all just like storage and outdated tech on the factory front. But Talked about pushes. GC now completed for Geneva. He has AA with him, so gunships gonna have to pick their timing carefully here. Tech 2 point defense. Doing Tech 2 point defense things. These bricks should be able to overwhelm that many, though, I believe. So the broadswords need to not do what they're doing. They need to go after the GC. I don't think there's any way you're going to be able to clean out this AA before the AA cleans out your gunships. So you got to get as much damage down on the GC as possible, which is unfortunately not what Mendulis did there. That GC looking, this is now looking real bad for Rift Station. Looking real bad for Rift Station here. Bit off a little bit more than he could chew. Told his girlfriend that he could play through the fire and flames perfectly. And instead of being able to play through the fire and flames perfectly, he is instead, his base is going up in fire and flames, actually. Not what you want to see. GC is going to be able to take out pretty much all this power. These bricks are going to take out all of the mass. Now Rift Station, his base looking very similar to Whistloy's now, with like one Tech 2 mechs, a couple of factories, and energy storage. Does have one more Tech 3 mechs down here, so I mean that's something, I guess. This is a very optimistic Ravager that these engineers are going to throw down. That GC just has to look at it the wrong way and it'll crumble. But air engagement, where the hell did Mendulis's ASF go? So now air control is solidly in Alter Ego's position or possession. I think he might have just sent his ASF like on an attack move and they ventured over like some SAMs or something. I don't know. But either way, that GC, I thought it was going to go down to gunships and strats from Mendulis, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. His Rift Station is saying he lost everything. Yeah, man, he bet big on being able to play that riff, and you know, Herman Lee said no. I believe he is the lead guitarist for Through the Fire and Flames. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure y'all will. And be like, no, he's actually the second supporting rhythm guitarist for Through the Fire and, or for Dragon Force. So I know they have like 4 guitarists, don't they? Something like that. It's like an unnecessary amount. Although, I guess Through the Fire and Flames, it being like a 7-minute long, essentially guitar solo. Maybe there's like a stamina thing where, you know, they can't last all 7 minutes. You know, they blow their load in 1.5 to 2 minutes, which, you know, anybody should be okay with 1.5 to 2 minutes. That is a completely average amount of time and should be enough to satisfy anyone. But yeah, I mean, some people, I guess, they need like a full 7 minutes or 10 minutes or something like that. I don't know. People, man. People be crazy. All right. So now we've got mass rover drone deployment to hoover up a lot of this mass, or just build a lot of Tech 1 land factories, which is probably Mendulis's best play here. He is working on an artillery as well. Does have at least some semblance of ASF again. Let's go ahead and do our first ASF count, 35 minutes into this game. 32 to, I'm going to guess, a lot more. 62. Yeah, quite a bit more. Quite a bit more, actually. Yeah, yeah. The math adds up. 62 is, in fact, more than 32. I know that because I'm the FAF scientist, as Willow calls me. All right, another Monkey Lord now out from Barg, who, after switching back and forth 7 or 8 times, it seems like Barg has now been the lucky winner of Whistloy's land. I don't even think you could really call it a base after, in the way that it was left. It was more just like raw land. But Barg leading with that monkey. That monkey is going to get absolutely taken apart by those Percivals. Definitely should have led with the bricks. And in equal numbers, Percivals very slightly edge out bricks. Another monkey actually out from Barg. Barg now printing monkeys like it's going out of style. That monkey should be able to level this fire base now with the brick support, and that's forcing these Percivals into an engagement that they don't really want to be in. That fire base is going to go down, and oh, hello, Czar now from Alter Ego, and a ton of restores. I'm going to guess that that was gifted over from Geneva. All right, so that is that's one thing that you can do in the air game, and now this is now turned from looking over for Team 2 early to looking a little bit more over for Team 1 with the eviction of Sub-Q and Whistloy to I don't know what Team 2 is going to do now. Like, monkeys are coming out from In the Grand to try and deal with the Tech 3 spam coming from Geneva. Mendulis is going to go down to that Tsar. It's going to wreck right outside of In the Grand's base. In the Grand maybe moving his commander to just hoover that up immediately. Chicken now on the way for TV Navi, but TV Navi is also crumbling up at the top. Does have Nano with gun and probably has overcharge. Should be overcharging. There's that overcharge. All right, so that monkey's down. The chicken, it's a lot of bricks. I don't know if one chicken's going to be enough for that many bricks. Then we've got a monkey squaring off against the GC. Well, we know how that story ends. This is just Team 1 has... I mean, they have not made more mass, but their mass has been, when they needed it, more often. Yeah. You've got a brick or a loyalist going for a ride there. Getting vacuumed up by that GC. All right, so now it's looking kind of rough for Team 2 once again. As we have another Czar. Yeah. Under construction here for Alter Ego. So Alter Ego is the one actually making these. Looks like, oh, he's Aeon. God, I'm stupid. For the longest time, I thought he was UEF. No, that's Mendulis that's UEF. That chicken, yeah. It's a lot of bricks. A lot of bricks. So I guess it's moves like that where, you know, you kind of hang a large mass investment out to dry. Oh, and this is ballsy. In the Grand, cloaking on his commander as well as laser. Scaring off that GC. Needs a couple of spy planes over, and that'll show that GC where In the Grand is. Ithoda also moving in. Another Ithoda out from TV Navi. And a second one up here now pushing down the middle. But once again, running into a ton of bricks. I mean, even if you, like, an Ithoda, not as mass efficient as bricks are. He's going to lose another Ithoda here. And doesn't even bring down that many bricks. That is a massive bummer. Massive bummer there for TV Navi. You can see the two wreckages of chickens basically just given over to Barg, as Barg is just full in brick production mode. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 factories cranking out, and he's about to have a chicken of his own. And that chicken, as long as he pairs him with the bricks, is going to make for a lovely, delicious meal for team number 2 to break their teeth on. Which is chicken stuffed with bricks. Try it. Put it on a smoker, you know. Some nice hickory wood. Maybe mesquite, you know, if you're feeling a little adventurous. Smoke a chicken with bricks in it. Yeah, that might actually be kind of interesting, because the bricks would, like, hold a lot of heat internally. I don't know. Now I'm like kind of talking myself into maybe trying this. Because that's the reason why you use like brick ovens for pizza, is they can like maintain heat and they absorb the heat really, really well. Right? Is that right? So you could do bricks inside a chicken and kind of cook it from the inside out. Or outside in. Okay. Anyway, back to the game. Tsar now being gifted over to Geneva. There is no air presence. I think the last Tech 3 aircraft just got killed and it was a spy plane. So now they're scrambling to get SAM sites up, of which they do have a pretty significant amount of. SAM sites splitting their attention though, along with the ASF. And you can kind of not really care less about the ASF. We have another chicken. God, how many times do we need to see this story to know how it ends? Like this chicken just like walks into the middle of these bricks, it dies, and then another one is going to come into the same army of bricks, and it's going to die again. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, bud. But that's now 3 bricks where we've seen that same story play out. And this chicken is going to actually do like some good work here, because there aren't a million bricks that are trying to be rammed down its throat. Gonna take out a megalith that was under construction, and the grand space is effectively dead. TV Nobby has now got his pizza about to get dropped on his face. We have In the Grand going in with his cloaked laser comm. Another chicken offering some support there from TV Nobby. Now everything getting given over to In the Grand, who is now our last player standing. Will In the Grand continue the time-honored tradition of walking his chickens into a gigantic army of bricks? I don't know. Stay tuned. You know, we'll see how this ends up working out. But it looks like they're trying to figure out where his commander is. There are now 2 Tsars in the sky, 2 pizzas. And yeah, In the Grand, he should still be under cloak. I cannot remember. Does this have Omni on it? Radar, air staging, anti-air depth charges. No, it does not have Omni, but it doesn't look like it matters as it centers over In the Grand. The first one is going to go down. So In the Grand is about to have a pizza dropped on his head. But don't worry, there's a second one. Except the second one missed In the Grand. And is also going to die. All right. Okay, so I guess team 1 likes to throw Tsars at static AA, and team 2 really likes to throw chickens at bricks. I don't know, there's this one chicken, I'm just really waiting for it to just like solo YOLO those bricks. GC's getting pelted by this bank of Ravagers, but I don't really think it's going to matter as In the Grand runs for cover. The first GC probably going to go down before it can kill him off. But second one is very healthy. In the Grand runs for cover, but don't really think it's going to make a huge difference. These chickens probably won't be able to take down this GC in time. I don't know, we'll see. See how much overcharge In the Grand has in him. There goes 1. That was a big one. Does Grand live here? Grand hanging on by his fingernails as his base dies around him. Meanwhile, it looks like he's just going for massive lab spam, although that lab spam looks like it's working. Jesus Christ. Needs to make sure he controls them, though. They're all just kind of sitting still as his commander has now run for another shield generator. And the Harbs are going to get taken out. The Harbs are not going to live long enough to be able to finish the job. So where's our next pizza? There she is. Almost done. 3/4 of the way done. New pizza coming in. Now this time we have 2 chickens walking in at the same time against the massive army of bricks. This one might go a little bit differently because there is some point defense support. Although all the Percivals are running the opposite direction. And, well, maybe not. Maybe it's not going to go too terribly differently. Another Ithota goes down. I don't see the second one living for very long either. I don't know, maybe with the help of the Ion Storm. But now it's kind of running away, so it can only use like one of its guns. Arguably the best gun, though. Actually, the Ion Storm doing way more damage than I thought it would. That chicken is going to survive. All right, in the Grand, breaks the streak. Is able to send chickens to kill bricks without losing all the chickens involved. But the bricks are now making their way up here. They're going to take out the lab spamming factories. Grand does now have his own kind of decorative Tech 3 Air Force. Although Alter Ego doesn't really have any ASF anymore. He switched like all of his production to Tech 1 bombers to deal with the lab spam. But this pizza getting dropped in. Grand ordered the $5.99 special from Domino's. $5.99, 2 or more medium pizzas. I think a lot of people hate Domino's. I have no idea what's wrong with Domino's. I love Domino's. Domino's is great. Healthy? No. Is it the best pizza ever? No. But it is like the best value pizza of all time. As In the Grand now discovers, he gets his third pizza dropped on his head, and that is going to close it out for this game. Team 1, very well played. This was a very back and forth game. Very, very interesting game to watch. Fun game to cast. If you guys liked it, check out my channel for more. Abuse that like and subscribe button. I was going to make a joke there, but I think I'd get demonetized and maybe banned if I made that joke. So use your imagination. And with that, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.